Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Dan Blanchard with the Travel in Time with Dan show. Today I'm here with Israel Putnam in Hartford, Connecticut, right? And this is the show that we get to show you great people, great historical people like Israel Putnam, and when we get to mix travel with history and with leadership. So now, who is this guy, Israel Putnam? Believe it or not, he was once a big-time celebrity, maybe more famous than George Washington for a while. Some of us may know him as the Wolf Guy. That's right. He moved in here from Massachusetts to tame the Connecticut wilderness, and when he was up there in the quiet corner of Connecticut, the northeast corner, there was a she-wolf up there that was causing a lot of problems with the livestock up there, right? Everybody was terrified of this she-wolf. And there's even a story that this she-wolf took out 70 of Israel Putnam's sheep in one night. Wow, that's crazy if that really did happen. All right, so this is what Putnam did. All right, he had a buddy tie a rope around his leg, and he went in this little teeny den, the wolf's den, up there in Pomfret, right? He went in this little den, now it's a monument, went in this little den up there, with just a torch. And when he saw the wolf, he's like, pull me out, pull me out. They pulled him out, he's like, give me my gun. And he went back in there, and they say that the wolf was about to attack him when he shot the wolf and killed the wolf that was killing the area's livestock. Many people say that that was the last wolf in Connecticut. Now, we still got coyotes running around, but I believe there's no more wolves in Connecticut after he took care of the farmers' problems during that time in that part of the state, all right? Now, what else about him? Was he just a wolf guy? No, he was a brave, very talented and skilled soldier. He made his name well known at the French and Indian War with his tactics. He even caught the eye of the Rogers Rangers and became one of them. I was like an elite military group. Think of like special forces and think of like expert shooters. Very, very good shooter to be part of the Rogers Rangers. And he was part of the Rogers Rangers, which is a pretty big deal. All right. Now, what else? Right? Have you ever heard of the Sons of Liberty? That's right. He was part of that too. We know about the Sons of Liberty and them dumping the tea into the Boston Harbor, right? He was actually one of the founders of the Connecticut chapter of the Sons of Liberty. Israel Putnam, before we're done, you're going to be like, wow, that guy did like everything, right? Another thing he did was he went to the Connecticut governor, which I believe was Fitch, and he said, hey, do not follow that Stamp Act that England is forcing upon us. We will not pay that tax. Don't you dare. And some stories I've heard, he actually threatened the Connecticut governor about that. And the Connecticut governor said, hey, we're not going to follow that Stamp Act, right? Now, you know what people tend to admire the most about Israel Putnam is that he was what you would call a citizen soldier, right? He was a farmer general. He put down his plow, hopped when we were having a problem in Boston with the English, he put down his plow, hopped on his horse, rode 100 miles, and was part of the bunker battle, Breeds Hill, Bunkers Hill, whatnot, and don't shoot, do you see the white of their eyes, all that. I mean, well, there is some discussion, did Prescott really say that? But the majority of people say, no, it was Israel Putnam. Old Put said that, right? Don't shoot, do you see the white of their eyes? Something many of us have heard, right? And in this country, we give a lot of respect to somebody who's just like a regular dude, right? A regular farmer, right? Not looking for anything glorious, just kind of doing their duty, their patriotic duty, drop the plow, pick up the gun, go defend your country, and then come back, drop the gun, and pick up the plow again and get back in that farm. We tend to really admire that sort of old Romanesque type of character, and Putnam was definitely one of those guys. I said earlier that this guy was like a celebrity. Believe it or not, I've read reports and heard things about him being the most famous, popular colonist in the 13 colonies. And more popular than Washington, George Washington. Now, George Washington will grow into his celebrity, and Putnam will kind of diminish in history. But back in the day, This guy was more famous than George Washington. Kind of hard to believe, but yes, that's what it's been said. All right? I mean, even today, I mean, you can say he's not as popular as Washington today, but you got to look at Washington and who are the big guys in Connecticut, right? You got Israel Putnam, right? You got Nathan Hale, right? You got Benedict Arnold, infamous, right? Benedict Arnold. And if you look around in Connecticut, you're not going to have too much trouble finding stuff that's named after Connecticut. Just look at the little quaint town Putnam, Connecticut, in the northeast corner, the quiet corner, right? It's named after him. The Putnam State Forest in Redden, right? The Putnam Wolf Den, where this whole wolf story takes place, right? In Pomfret, right? You have the Putnam Wolf Den. You've got the Putnam Cottage, right? That's the Knapp Tavern in Greenwich, Connecticut. You get the Putnam School, and you got more and more and more of this stuff, right? So now, when I do these shows, Travel in Time with Dan, you know I like to talk about travel, history, and leadership. So I'd say, what are the leadership lessons here? Well, I would say definitely when it comes to the old pot, no doubt about it, it's going to be courage. This guy was overflowing with courage, and he was overflowing with toughness. I mean, you got to be tough to be a great leader. You got to have an immense amount of courage to be a great leader. And Putnam had that stuff in spades, man. That was his leadership. The courage, the toughness. And I guess I could kind of say maybe thinking outside the box, sort of like the Rogers Rangers, the Special Forces elite group. He was really, really good at having like a small group of men and doing something that was that the British wouldn't expect, in winning battles and defeating the British. Really good at that type of warfare. All right, but definitely courage, definitely toughness, and maybe like a little bit of thinking outside the box. His men loved him. He was one of the great leaders of the day. All right, everybody. Thank you for spending time with me, Dan Blanchard, with the Travel in Time with Dan show, where we mix travel with history and with leadership. I'm not sure where I'll be for the next one, but wherever it is, you know it's going to be good. Y'all take care. See you again real soon.